On the news, Kano school proprietor sentenced to death by hanging over killing of 5-year-old Hanifa. Work with security agencies to end terrorism, National Security Advisor tells Nigerians after security meeting with President Buhari. And reps joined senators to hand Buhari 6-week ultimatum, threaten impeachment. Well, many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogrinde. Justice Usman Naaba of the Kano State High Court has sentenced the proprietor of Noble Kids Academy and Northwest Preparatory School, Abdul Malik Tanko, to death by hanging for the kidnap and killing of 5-year-old schoolgirl Hanifa Abubakar. Tanko's accomplice, Hashim Isiako, was also sentenced to death by hanging. One other suspect, Fatima Musa, was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment for conspiracy and another 1 year for an attempt to commit a felony. Tanko kidnapped and killed Hanifa, a 5-year-old pupil, on 4th of December 2021 while she was returning from Islamia school, and subsequently buried her in a shallow grave. The Minority Caucus of the House of Representatives has joined its Senate counterpart to hand President Muhammadu Buhari a 6-week ultimatum to fix insecurity or face impeachment in the National Assembly. Minority Leader of the House of Reps, Ndudu Elumelu, revealed this after a closed-door meeting of the Joint Minority Caucus of the National Assembly on Thursday. Elumelu said the signatures will be gathered to impeach the president on the security situation. If the security situation is not addressed, also drew attention to the general state of the nation, including the exchange rate and aviation crisis.
It is a bipartisan issue. We all agreed that the security architecture is failing and there's the need to salvage it immediately. And we also agreed that we must issue, for some who do not know, the issue is to issue an impeachment notice to the president, because the primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives of its citizens. Once that is not done, then there is a problem.
We think that it's high time that this insecurity of this nation is addressed. And of course, we also have the issue of oil theft, which has risen, which is now making it difficult to earn income from oil revenue. And these and many others is the reason why we are joining our colleagues in the Senate to ask Mr. President to address the insecurity of this nation within 8 weeks, between 6 and 8 weeks. Otherwise, we will find the constitutional means to ensure that we will serve him an impeachment notice.
President Muhammadu Buhari has summoned a National Security Council meeting in Abuja. This comes barely 24 hours after senators from opposition parties issued a 6-week ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari to tackle the security challenges bedeviling this country. Speaking to State House correspondents at the close of the meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja, the National Security Advisor, Babagana Monguno, said new strategies will be implemented to address the fast-spreading insecurity and terrorist attacks. He also disclosed that Nigerians are growing tired of the menace and are now turning to self-help.
We are in a very difficult situation. And Council understands, Mr. President understands people's concerns about the growing insecurity. But I can assure you that there's no straight, cut and dried method of dealing with this thing unless all of us embrace each other. I know people are weary, people are tired, people are beginning to gravitate to other places for self-help. The truth is that help is rooted in everyone working for the other person. Again, the members of the armed forces have also made a commitment that in the coming weeks, they've already started working on a new strategy to deal with these snippets of violence. And they've given their word, their commitment to the president that there will be a change in momentum, regardless of the fact that there might be certain institutional limitations which they face. But they've understood the enormity of the responsibilities that they have. Again, Council is in the process of winding up the special investigative panel on the Kuje incident. And the idea is to come up with recommendations, hold those who are supposed to be held accountable for their deeds, and to ensure that this type of thing never, ever, ever happens again.
Now, to speak more on the matter, Patrick Agbambo, security expert, joins me now. Thank you very much, Patrick, for joining us. Now, the NSA spoke about adopting new strategies to tackle the terrorists. Now, are you confident that this time around Nigerians will see a difference?
Confident, and I would say that I'm also worried. Confident in the sense that if all hands are on the deck, like the NSA said there, people must work together. I think we will surely overcome it. But I'm worried because it seems that the solution to this, which is a whole of society approach, is lacking so far, and that is the biggest challenge that we are having in the fight against the security in the country today. If that can be used, then I bet you that we'll be halfway resolved out of this situation we find ourselves, even though it's a global situation. But if we can adopt the whole of society approach, then we are going to get out of it soon.
Now, the NSA also made a profound statement about Nigerians turning to self-help. Now, what are the consequences of this action, especially when you consider how the whole security situation is presently in Nigeria?
Self-help in handling security issues is, how will I call it? It's like going around a circle. It doesn't solve the problem at all. Security must be handled by those who are trained to handle it, one. Then two, by the citizens working with those who are trained to handle it to be able to resolve the issues at hand. Resorting to self-help in any form other than maybe providing information to the security agencies will be, I should maybe use the word counterproductive. You can have community security committees that work together with the law enforcement agencies and provide timely information to those who can handle it. Because, like I've always said, security issues must be handled in a security way. There's no two ways in handling it. Even if you bring the best security operator or the best equipment and you do not handle it the way it should, definitely it will continue. That is the situation.
But indeed, security expert Patrick Agbambo, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. Well, still on security matters, the Defense Headquarters has expressed confidence that the military activities in the South-South geopolitical zone will ultimately further reduce the activities of oil thieves in the country. According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Bernard Onyoko in Abuja, the conduct of Operation Octopus Grip within the last 2 weeks has enabled the recovery of over 2 billion naira worth of crude oil and illegally refined automotive oil gas from the economic saboteurs. Oyoko confirmed that within the past 2 weeks, 2 more kidnapped Chibok girls were rescued in Borno State, while a total of 2,016 suspected Boko Haram terrorists and ISWAP terrorists and their families surrendered to the military.
Troops also rescued on 25th July, rescued 4 women with children at Aulari in Borno State. 2 of them were confirmed to be among the Chibok girls named Hanatu Musa and Kauna Sera Luka. They are on Series 7 and 38 of the list of Chibok girls in captivity, accordingly. Within the weeks under focus, a total of 2,016 suspected Boko Haram terrorists and their families, comprising of 360 adult males, 580 adult females, 1,076 children surrendered to own troops at different locations in the Northeast Theater of Operation. All rescued civilians and recovered items have been handed over to relevant security authority, while surrendered terrorists and their families have been profiled and also handed to appropriate agencies. 27 pipeline vandals were arrested within the process, and a total of 5,159,500 liters of substance suspected to be crude oil and 1,432,000 liters of illegally refined automotive gas oil were recovered. All arrested economic saboteurs and recovered items were handed over to appropriate authorities for further action.
The federal government has assured Nigerians that efforts to bring the security situation in the country under control are being stepped up. Addressing State House correspondents after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, described as laughable the threats by the Abuja-Kaduna trained terrorists to go after the president and Kaduna State Governor. Our correspondent, Simisola Adigun, has the details in this report.
On the heels of security threats in the nation's capital, President Muhammadu Buhari presides over the Federal Executive Council meeting. The meeting commences with a moment of silence in honor of the former Minister of State, Power and Steel, Oyekunle Oluwasomi, who died at 85. As expected, the security situation in the country is brought to the fore, especially in light of the impeachment threat by senators. The federal government assures Nigerians that efforts are in place to improve the situation.
I want to reassure you that the government is up to the task of ensuring security. Security challenges will come anywhere in the world. The important thing is the fact that you do not lose focus and you continue to work assiduously to overcome it. I want to assure you we are going to overcome.
The minister also responds to the threat to abduct the president.
More propaganda than anything. It's laughable. So it's not a matter the president is taking lightly. And like I've always said, some of the measures we are going to take are not measures that you can discuss, openly here.
Acknowledging the challenges that have rocked the aviation industry, the aviation minister, Hadi Sirika, expressed confidence that the challenges will be overcome, adding that it was a global phenomenon.
I'm very sure you are abreast with the going on around aviation industry, but certainly it is not here forever. Aviation is very resilient activity. From time before, always take a dip and then come back up. We saw it in 9/11, we saw it in SARS, we saw it in global meltdown, we saw it in Pearl Harbor, we saw it in 9/11, and so on and so forth. So aviation is very resilient, and I think we will get out of the problems we are facing.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, who revealed that FEC had approved the 2023 to 2025 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy papers, also said the slow economic growth witnessed in the country is a direct impact of the COVID-19 pandemic as well as the Russia-Ukraine war.
But like most economists, we reported to Council that the Nigerian economy is fiscally constrained. even though the IMF, having adjusted global growth, has maintained Nigeria's projection of their own growth, but we continue to be exposed to risk that are happening in the global market, not the least of which is heightened inflation.
Also briefing journalists, the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekan Adegbite, said the council had approved the Nigerian Mining Value Chain Regulation for the development of raw materials into refined products before exportation. Simisola Chikun, TV360, Lagos.
Moving on to other stories, the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals, Adejoke Orilope Alefulire, has revealed that 23 states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) have received 24.45 billion naira from the conditional grant schemes. Orilope Alefulire disclosed this at the 45th Ministerial Media Briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Thursday. She added that the funds are targeted to improve education, health, water, and sanitation.
In partnership with UNDP, our office is providing technical and financial support to states on the development of SDG-based medium and long-term plans. So far, 16 states are receiving technical and financial support on demand-driven basis. Robust monitoring and tracking systems have been designed using computer-based software, ProTrack, to track and monitor all SDG interventions and other interventions on projects across the country. Global positioning system is the backbone of this tracking system, and we're able to track and identify projects by locations. Partnership. In partnership with the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, we commissioned an independent evaluation of 2 priority SDGs, SDG 3 on gender, SDG 3 on quality health and well-being for all, and SDG 4 on qualitative, inclusive education and lifelong learning for all. This strategy exercise has just been concluded, and the 2 reports are ready for launch by August this year, next month.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Amushan and Brome to defend crowns as athletes prepare for 2022 Commonwealth Games. Details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Kano State High Court has sentenced the proprietor of Noble Kids Academy and Northwest Preparatory School, Abdulmalik Tanko, to death for the kidnap and killing of 5-year-old schoolgirl Hanifa Abubakar. The presiding judge, Justice Usman Naaba, also sentenced Tanko to 5 years imprisonment for the 4-count charges leveled against him. We also told you that barely 24 hours after senators from opposition parties issued a 6-week ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari to tackle the security challenges bedeviling the country. Speaking to State House correspondents at the close of the meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mongono, said new strategies will be implemented to address the fast-spreading insecurity and terrorist attacks nationwide. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletins, for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Around 5% of people who have had COVID-19 develop long-lasting problems with their sense of smell or taste. A large study on said on Thursday, potentially contributing to the burden of long COVID. A lost sense of smell has been a hallmark of contracting coronavirus since the early days of the pandemic, but it has not been clear how often symptoms like this occur or how long they can last. In a new study published in the BMU, they found that 6 months after contracting the virus, 4% of patients had not recovered their sense of smell, while 2% had not recovered their sense of taste. We'll take a breather here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Well, up next is business news with Simisola Adigun. Simi, what's the latest in business?
Many thank you to Folashade. The House of Representatives have raised an alarm over the looming food shortages in Nigeria, calling on the federal government to initiate emergency preventive measures. At the plenary on Wednesday, the House urged the Presidency, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the National Emergency Management Agency to begin to make arrangements to mitigate the emerging food challenge. The House also mandated its relevant committees to interface with the appropriate ministries and agencies as well as the international development partners to begin the process of establishing and implementing protocols to manage food resources and mitigate the food crisis. We'll go on a short break here and be back with stock market report. Local bonds continue its losing streak on Thursday, recording a decline of 1.04%. The all-share index and market capitalization also declined by 49,667 basis points and 26.8 trillion naira respectively. However, UPDC Real Estate and RT Briscoe have kept their heads above water to emerge top gainers with 3 naira 93 kobo. At the bottom, Lasaco, Assurance and Stanbic IBTC Holdings are the top decliners, losing a total of 29 naira 30 kobo. On the activity chart, we see that 206 million volume of shares corresponding to a market value of over 3 billion naira were exchanged in 5,053 deals. Global stocks kept climbing on Thursday despite data showing the U.S. economy marked a second straight quarterly decline, a common definition of a recession. Negative forecasts did not, however, affect the Dow Jones and the Nikkei. They're sitting pretty in the greens at 0.69% and 0.36%. However, UK's FTSE is sitting alone in the bears at 0.041%. That's all on Stock Market Review. Back to you, Folashade.
Well, many thanks, Simi, for that update. And now on the foreign scene, Côte d'Ivoire reported a fresh discovery of offshore oil and natural gas by Italian firm Eni on Thursday, expanding the potential of reserves found last year by 25%. International companies, including French giant Total and Britain's Tullow Oil, have also announced significant discoveries of Ivorian offshore oil reserves in recent years. The president of Cote d'Ivoire had earlier said he wants the country to become a major oil producer. The West African nation's current output is modest at around 30,000 barrels per day. And now on the sporting scene, World Athletics Championship Toby Amusha is set to lead Team Nigeria's chase for medals as the 2022 Commonwealth Games get underway today in Birmingham, England. Other star athletics who are expected to sparkle for Team Nigeria include Oboro Dudu, who won gold in the women's 68 kg category. Adekuroye will also defend a gold medal in the women's wrestling 57 kg category, while Aminat Adeni, who won gold in the 62 kg event, will also fancy her chances in the same event. Team Nigeria will be represented by 127 athletes in 17 disciplines at the Games. Over 5,000 athletes will compete in 19 different sports as England hosts the event for the third time in its history. Or to speak more on this, Mudashir Shita, sports analyst, joins me now. Thank you very much, Muda, for joining us. Now, Nigeria has quite an array of representatives at the Commonwealth Games. What are your expectations for the country medal-wise?
I think right now that we are looking forward to an exciting moment for the game because we know that definitely that the last Commonwealth Games,
we apologize for that. We seem to have lost Mudashir, but I seem to be getting the feedback from him. Muda, if you heard me earlier, I was asking what are your expectations for the Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, the expectation is bright. I mean, we came ninth in the last Commonwealth Games, and we with 9 gold, 9 silver, and 6 bronze medal, and that's 24 medals. But this time around, looking at what happened with Toby Amusi, Ese Brume, and the 4x100 meters relay girls, we are thinking we should do better. Let's also remind ourselves that Toby Amusi is also the gold medalist in this 100 meters hurdles at the last Commonwealth Games. So she's not just coming to defend herself, she's coming to also break the record there. Also, we have Ese Brume, is also a gold medalist in the long jump at the Commonwealth Games, and she just won silver medal in the World Athletics Championship. Apart from the 2 of them, we're also looking for medals in wrestling and also for the shot put and discus. We have Chukwuemeka, who is the silver medalist in the last Commonwealth Games. So also in table tennis, we had a silver medal in the team event in the men's category. So there are many prospects for us to look at the Commonwealth Games. So, but with the effect of what happened at the World Athletics Championship, we are hoping that not just Toby Amusan, we also hoping that Ese Brume, the 4x100 meters ladies, who came 4th in the final of the last World Championship duo, and also powerlifting, table tennis, and also discus and shot put and medals we should be hopeful about.
Now, it's the first time the World Championships and Commonwealth Games will be held in the same year. Coming on the back of the just concluded championship, quickly tell us, Muda, will this have an effect on the performance of the athletes, or do you see them replicating the same feat?
Definitely, definitely. It is not just Nigeria. Every athlete that have done so well at the World Athletics, going into the World Championship and going into the Commonwealth Games, it will be positive. But let's don't forget that the only thing that might not bring out is the fatigue, because I don't think the players, some of the athletes have rested enough for the Commonwealth Games. But it all now depends on when your game started. Now, the all eyes is on Ese Brume, the all eyes is on Toby Amusi, the all eyes is on 4x100 meters relay. Let's not forget the 4x100 meters relay in the last Commonwealth Games, where we then had Blessing Okagbari. This time around, she's not going to be part of it. They won a bronze medal, but coming 4th at the World Athletics Championship, we should be expecting that we should get a silver medal or even a gold medal at the 4x100. So the effect of the World Championship taking place the same year with the Commonwealth Games is going to be positive for most countries, especially Nigeria. The Commonwealth World Athletic was supposed to take place last year, but because of COVID, it didn't take place. So the effect is going to be positive, and we hope that we can do better than what we did at the last Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast.
Well, indeed, Mudashir Shitsu, sports analyst, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Fola Shadi Ogurinde. Bye for now.